Hey everyone, welcome back to South by Southwest Fanservice Live. I'm Gavin Stone with Fanboy TV, joined by
Mark Martinez from the Austin Horror Society.
and
Holger Frick, director of Happy B-Day.
which I will tell you all right now is a really darkly funny movie. I went in expecting, because it's a Midnighters film, something a little bit more horror based, and I laughed the entire time.
That's great. That's exactly what I was going for. Like, it should be funny, but at the same time, you can't always look at it if you don't like blood. It's,
Oh yeah, because there's lots of blood.
Yeah.
It's lots of fun. Like
Yeah.
the coughing up on the face was pretty hilarious. So in a nutshell, what is Happy B-Day?
It's a short horror comedy, but at the same time, it's like everyday situation of a couple that gets into a fight because one person hasn't really. Like one has a feeling the other doesn't really know him, and then
Yeah.
they get into the situation. She wants to surprise him for his birthday. It goes kind of wrong. And
Very
then they're-
wrong.
Yeah. In the situation, they kind of have to get out of it together and work together again. And yeah, there's a lot of love in it as well.
Yeah, visually, it's a very beautiful looking short.
Yes.
Thanks.
Can you tell us a little bit about the production of it?
Yeah, well, actually, we were 5 people in the woods in the snow. It was really cold.
Must not have been fun.
No, the fake blood was freezing on the hands of the actress, and like she was in a lot of pain, I think. But that
That's
helped the
dedication.
acting, It kind of no, she's all good. And we were really a small team. Everybody was doing like everything, and it was set up really quickly because I wanted to hold a deadline for an award I was entering in Germany, and to get it done in 2 weeks was like really hardcore. And there was not many people finding the time to help, but because they were all involved in other stuff, so we were actually like 5 people, 2 actors in the woods in the snow.
Which, now, was it a happy accident that it was winter and you got that nice contrast between the bright white and the bright red, or was it just, hey, forced upon you, it's wintertime, I got to do something?
No, it was actually because of that deadline approaching, and I had to shoot in the winter. I mean, I could have written a story that was like playing inside a house, but that just called for, like, I always wanted to do blood and snow, so that's definitely something that's really nice.
Why blood and snow?
I know, I like it in Fargo, I like it in like, the Dead Snow movie, and it's always this contrast, and blood always looks nicer in snow than probably
Well,
does
that's
in
nice
mud.
to know.
And you brought up Fargo there, and I like the mix of the horror and comedy.
Yeah.
And can you tell us some of your influences?
Well, actually, I'm planning to do the feature, like probably everybody is who's doing short films, and I've done 3 short films before that. The first was with like no sound, or well, no dialogue. The second had a monologue, and this one was my dialogue film, the exercise. And I wanted to do it with more of a funny side to it. So I was, of course, looking at Shaun of the Dead, Severance, Hatchet, and Tucker and Dale, all these kind of horror comedies that are really like my favorite films, and that's the influence.
So, was it fun working with that effect of, what happened to them? I'm trying not to spoil it because
Yeah.
we have a habit of spoiling things. Was it really fun working with that, like spurting blood everywhere and just, having a good time of it?
Definitely, yeah. I like that. It's always fun on a set. I think that's why horror films is so much fun to do, because everybody knows it's not real on set, and you just play around with it, and everybody does something they normally don't do, and yeah, you have fake blood, and you like play with it, and
Play with it like, ooh,
Yeah.
look, it's blood in my fingers.
yeah, I could show you some making of footage and of other movies that I did. People just get into it that haven't done or don't really are into horror films. They're on set and they see the fake blood, and it's like Halloween. Just dress up and play.
Yeah. One of the strengths I found in this film was the interaction between the characters, the husband and wife character. Can you tell us a little bit about the casting process, how you match these two up together?
Yeah, it was also done really quickly because I didn't have much time, but I knew the actor. I worked with him before, and he's a good friend, and I find he's really good. And he didn't need much, practicing and rehearsal. And then I found Isabel, who's the female lead part, and I saw her in one short film, just a couple of scenes, and I thought she was perfect. And then I heard they kind of met before, didn't really know each other, so I was just hoping for the chemistry to be right. And then she came the night before we shot from Berlin to Munich, and we just went over the scenes a bit, and then on set we were actually rehearsing just before we were shooting. But they were getting into it really, really quickly, and really thought the chemistry was right, and they were working together, and they were really, because they were freezing and everything was kind of hard. We had a motorhome rented, but that was too far away to go to warm people up, because there was like that much snow and it was 800 meters to go, so no one could go in between takes. So they were all in that situation and really getting into it, and with all the blood and stuff, they really work well together. But we didn't have much time before the film.
So you want to do a feature?
Yeah.
Are you gonna keep it horror based? Do you have an idea for one?
I do have an idea. I'm just working on the script at the moment, and it's gonna be horror comedy. It's gonna be a creature feature, actually.
Will it have zombies in it?
Nope. No
Ah,
zombies this time.
thank God, because zombies are a little kind of played out at this point.
Yeah, I did a zombie short film 5 years ago, just to try out with the whole zombie thing, and yeah, no, not in the feature. I want to do something that's never done before, and I could keep on talking if we went into that about the German genre film scene, that there isn't any, and it's kind of hard to do a genre like a horror
Really?
film in Germany. Yeah, I mean,
There's
what,
no
what
horror
German
films in
horror
Germany?
films do you know? Unless
Um,
the ones from the 20s and 30s.
I really can't think of any. What about
Yeah.
you, Mark?
There isn't any.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a few, and there's a few good ones, but really only a few, and it's really hard in Germany to get funding for these films, and to get the respect and trust from the audience, because they're more used and they like the international productions that are really up there and high, and you can't compare to that.
And it's really strange for a country that had such classics in the past
Yeah.
to just disappear.
Yeah, and as I said, we could go on talking about that for an hour or two, because there's so much that went into the process of it not right now being hard on horror films or genre films in general in Germany. It's the money, of course, as well. But for a good horror film, you don't need a lot of money like you would need for an action film or a sci-fi
Yeah.
film that are also not being made there. But yeah, it's
So
history.
this film was part of, what is it, the German Short Film Festival?
Well, it was. I entered it into the Shocking Shorts Award.
Uh-huh.
It's a German, the only genre film award in Germany that you can win. And I tried to win that for a couple of years with my last short films. Last year I became second, and so I have to do another short film next year to enter again, because I really want to win that. I mean, you can't plan on winning, I know, but it's always the jury and the competition. But as long as I enter one every year or every 2 years, the chances might be getting better.
So are you noticing a rise in German horror filmmakers?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a whole new generation in filmmakers in Germany as well who are trying. They've been fans of that of different kinds of genres, but especially now that anyone can actually go out and produce a film, and people at film schools are probably trying out a bit more. I mean, they've also done that a couple of years ago or 10 years ago, but I think now, especially with the internet and Facebook, and they're all getting connected, and we actually built up a little network called Neuer Deutscher Genrefilm, where people are talking about the difficulties and their concepts and the ideas and what they've done, and look at their stuff and look at it like what went wrong and what's good about it, and how you can better it and make it work in the future.
So where can everyone at South by Southwest watch this film?
It's on tonight at 10 o'clock at the Palmer's
Event Center?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Rollins Theater. It's a part of the Midnight Shorts program. Yeah, and that's tonight at 10. There's another screening on Wednesday and on Thursday and on Friday. So there's 4 altogether. Yeah, you have to look about the times. I'm not really sure. I think Wednesday is at night, Thursday is in the morning.
Well, we do love the Midnighters. So congratulations on getting to South by Southwest.
Thank you.
I hope
Thanks very
everyone
much.
enjoys this film as much as we did.
It's great to be here.
I want to. What's your favorite horror film of all time?
I get asked that a lot, and I never know which one's like all the top the favorite, but there is probably the Carpenter ones, like The Thing and
The Thing is a
Halloween.
classic.
Those kind of inspired me a lot. Whereas I have to say, if it's the one that influenced or got to me the most, that's probably Nightmare on Elm Street, because I was watching that when I was 10, and I couldn't really sleep for half a year because I was afraid to fall asleep and dream about Freddy Krueger. So that's probably the one. I still can't watch that today without, when it's dark and I'm alone. And yeah, it's
It's good to know. There won't be a Freddy Krueger waiting for you when you walk out of the studio.
No, I'm not sleeping. I think.
All right,
Am
so
I
once
dreaming
again,
this?
thanks for being on the show. Have a great time at South by Southwest.
Thanks
and I hope
very
everybody
much.
enjoys the film.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.